Hey everybody, it's Brent Harvey with A-Hole Productions. Today is that magical day we call Monday, and we're going to motivate that Monday with Motivational Monday, if that makes sense. Let's get into it. So today I want to talk about something very important. I know I say that all the time, but it is important because it's about your flaws. What? I know a lot of thoughts just went through your head. You're like, that computer went, all the flaws. I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I have weird teeth, blah, 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 blah. Now, this is why this is important. Again, our society teaches us that imperfection and flaws are ugly and weird. And, look at this perfect body of this model or whatever it is, that we're looking at. And this is what it's like to be successful. You drive this car, have this amount of money, look like this, have this body. On and on and on and on. However, your flaws are what make you special. And everybody goes, oh, yeah, I know, but it'd be nice to be pretty and all. Guys, believe me when I say this. I've cast projects before, lots of projects. I've been on both sides of that table. So many actors always go, how do I set myself apart from other people? How do I really stick out? And most people think it's acting, the choices they make, and it is. But the things that separate you the most from everybody else, that really make you stick out, is what is labeled as flaws, the things that are unflattering, supposedly in society. When I see somebody come in life, in a classroom, in an audition, and they've embraced themselves for everything, the good and the bad, I want to say, the flaws, so-called flaws, when they embrace that and they take it on and go, you know what, I love this about me. Like, it's who I am. It changed, like there's this thing about them that just sticks out, and you can't deny them. You can't ignore them. There's just something. And I know a lot of physically beautiful people who themselves are insecure and unsure. Insecurity, it's not attractive. We've all been there, like women especially. You've had insecure guys come up and ask you out, and you're like, no. Then you have a confident guy come ask you out. It's more, same thing with women. But when it comes to those flaws, those little things that when we get put on the spot, as actors especially, and we're thinking about all our flaws, if you were to embrace those things and realize those are the things that are special about you, if you embrace those things, your life will change. One, you take away the power of people belittling you or making you feel bad because you may not be the right weight, the height, whatever it is. I was insecure about my voice for many years. When I first started acting and I started listening to my voice, I have a southern type accent, even though I'm from the Midwest. Everybody's like, are you from Texas, whatever it is. I started listening to myself on tape. And my first thought was like, oh my God, I sound like a hillbilly. I sound like an uneducated hillbilly. And I was so insecure for so many years until a very attractive woman said, you have a southern accent. And she goes, that's sexy. And I said, well, yes, ma'am. And from that day on, I embraced it because I was like, well, if she thinks it's sexy, then I'll roll with it. But it just took that one little way of looking at it differently that I embraced it, and I love it now. I can listen to myself talk without cringing or going, oh my God, like I used to do. It's the same thing with physical. I have this little scar right here. You probably can't even see it, but I was insecure about that for years because it was a chicken pox that I picked when I was a kid. I actually forget until just now. I forgot it was there, but it's like something when I do see it in a picture and everything, I go, yeah, that's me. Nobody else has that. That's me. I love that about myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still have my insecurities. I still have these things, but I work to embrace them and turn them into things I love about myself, internally and externally. Embrace your flaws, because they're not really flaws. They're things that make you special, things that make you different from everybody else. You don't want to be like everybody else. If everybody looked the same, it would be a boring friggin' place. And there are some successful people out there who are not attractive by society standards, who are not the right size, the right shape or whatever. But you see the people who embrace themselves and go, hey man, this is me. And they don't worry about what other people think. And they're so attractive. Like, you want to be like them. You want to hang out with those people because they like themselves. They embrace themselves. You want to be an actor that sticks out from the crowd. You want to be an individual that people think are special, that people want to hang out with and be around. Then embrace yourself. Embrace those so-called flaws and stop looking at them like flaws and look at them like beauty marks. Look at them like things that nobody else has and nobody else can have. This goes back to my first lesson about if you don't believe in yourself, who will? If you don't love yourself, who will? If you don't like this part of your body or this voice, why should anybody else? Embrace it. It's such a powerful thing to stop being ashamed of something and start loving it. Your whole life will change. I promise you. And if you're an actor or a director or writer, whatever it is, but especially actor, because we're physically this, the way we're marketed is this physical specimen type ideal of like the leading man, the woman, the best friend, the sign, whatever the hell we get labeled. When you start embracing yourself, other people embrace you. And it becomes this powerhouse that you can go in and you can just own a room. You can just own it, and you're so memorable to the point where some people, a lot of times people go, they don't fit that role at all, but I want to write a role for them because I got to work with that person. I got to be around that person. People are drawn to you. Negative is drawn to negative, positive is drawn to positive. Law of attraction, physics, how our universe works. If you love yourself, other people will see that energy and they'll be drawn to it like moss to a flame. But it requires you to take those flaws and turn them into beauty marks and just fall in love with yourself. What I have people do is I have them do mirror work. Stand in front of a mirror naked, or before you get naked, like just one part at a time. Focus on one little thing and just keep focusing on that and just keep embracing it. Find the good thing about that scar, that thing, that's a stretch mark, whatever it is, until you can get fully naked and stand and just go, God damn it, this is beautiful. I love this. I love this about myself. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't work to stay healthy, to take care of yourself, eat well, use the right products on your skin, exercise, all those other things. But don't do it for the wrong. Don't do it for the vanity of it or because you think people like you. Do it because it's healthy for you. And not everybody has the same body or the same whatever, so you're not supposed to be like, just do what's right for you. Embrace yourself. Love yourself. Love the flaw. Love the mistakes. Find the mistakes, the so-called mistakes, because mistakes, especially in Hollywood, have become memorable moments in Hollywood history. We'll talk about that more in another lesson, but those are the things that separate you. So embrace them, because other people probably find them attractive, and the fact that you don't is the only reason why they're shying away from you, because they feel a disconnect. They want to connect with you. They want to like you, but you don't like yourself. You are perfect the way you were designed. Now, you got work to do. We're all a work in progress. I'm not saying that, but nobody's perfect, but yet we all are. So embrace it. Embrace your originality. You are a one of a kind, and treat yourself that way. All right? As always, our goal at A-Hole Productions is to inspire and motivate the global artistic community and help each other out. So, if you like this video, Share it with your friends, share it with your enemies, share it with people you don't know. Leave a comment question below because, we're still learning too. We'd love to hear what your thoughts are if you have any questions, and other people do too. So don't rob them of that. In the meantime, remember, be an a-hole. It's kind of cool. And hey, it's not a flaw. See ya.